Good morning, team. Before I'll set out a second video for programming, just a few topics of discussion coming into this week that are super important. Number one, I honestly think it's the hottest it's been in this gym ever. And fingers crossed, come Monday, there's an announcement and the mask could be optional. But let's be kind of honest here. You know, if I called you up 2 o'clock in the afternoon and be like, hey, want to go for a bike ride? Most people would probably say, it's a little too hot to be doing that kind of exercise. So we got to make some, I do want to make some decisions here. I want to get your input. But that 2 o'clock class in the middle of the day, I'm not sure how appropriate it is. So if you are planning to come and you want me to keep those classes open, and you think that's a good decision for you, then I'll do it. You gotta know going in, it's gonna be really hot. I mean, really hot. Outside, inside. The gym isn't gonna cool off at night. The doors are gonna start opening, the doors open at 5:30 in the morning. Come 9 a.m., it's like 30 degrees already. So anyways, please have a think. Number two, the plan is to do the Murph on Thursday. Come 9 in the morning, I don't really see the need for anyone to do it. Having said that, my plan, there's nothing to register for yet. My plan is to offer the first session at 6 a.m., the second session at 7:30 a.m., and that's it. On good days during the Murph, we've done them on some hot days. I mean, I've seen people's faces and heads go purple. So that's the plan. Hopefully by then, that'll be the first. Hopefully the mask will be optional, which in our case will be not at all. So if you want to do the Murph after that time, please let me know. Like I said, at the moment, those will be the first 2 time options, and I believe the capacity restrictions will be lifted. So in those 2 sessions, there's a good chance we could allow, there's a lot of people in. So possibly let's just use the number 12 per session. So again, I need your feedback there. I will open up more sessions, but I gotta be honest with you, I don't like the prospects of taking people through that workout in the middle of the day at 35 degrees. But yeah, anyway, okay, last one. So this is a weird one. As you know, we been offering Ride Fit classes. These were introduced post lockdown and in the pandemic world, if you will, because we have 8 bicycles and we limit class to 8 people. Well, let's just say that capacity gets thrown out the window. Well, what happens to Ride Fit class? And so I've had some suggestions. There's a few options on the table. One of the options can be endurance classes are back. Endurance classes because we could still offer a large Ride Fit component of the class, but obviously for the most part in Ride Fit you spend majority of time on one single bike. In endurance class we've always kind of moved around quite a bit. That option could be back on the table, or should be back on the table. So that's option number 1. Option number 2 is offer a Ride Fit class for only 8 people. Now, as much as in some ways we can make this work, but I think it's important to note for everyone involved in sort of being part of the Opus community. The last year has not been a financial success, to put mildly. So a lot of the decisions going forward, as much as I still will make them community driven, they do have to keep in mind that it has to make sense to try to help dig us out of a hole, so to speak. So putting an 8-person class on the schedule isn't really isn't really a sound decision, but is a decision potentially. And then the third option might be to split class, potentially to have a couple of Olympic weightlifting sessions potentially, and then a couple and an 8-person ride class. So like a 8 and 4, something of that nature. So those are the options on the table. Feedback for this would be great. I think each step along the way, whether it's the 2 o'clock class this week, whether you want to do the Murph later in the day. I won't put the classes on the schedule until Monday. Usually Bonnie Henry announces things on Monday. And potentially we could do the Murph just on another day next week when the weather isn't so crazy. So I guess those are the options for Murph. And then again, lastly, just a kind of heads up with the Ride Fit class. There is none this week because it's Thursday. The gym is just going to be open for a few Murph sessions. But then we'll decide based on your feedback, based on restrictions or lack thereof. But yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys are surviving the heat. It is hot. Stay hydrated, not only with water, but just your electrolytes you lose. So that is some tablets, salts, all that jargon. Anyways, gotta go.